Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gordon Frayne. We are back today talking about altcoin season. Are we even going to get an altcoin season in this cycle? That's what we're looking at today. As always, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to smash that thumbs up button below, hit that subscribe button as well, smash the bell notification icon, and don't forget to grab your completely free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin. It's linked below the video, down in the description. Grab it now, and let's talk about the market. So, we have Bitcoin currently sitting just below $98,000 here as we speak. I am recording this video on February 14th, 2025. We have had a little bit of a higher low getting put in here over the course of the past few days compared to these lows back at the beginning of January. So Bitcoin is still trending around this $95,000 to $100,000 level. It's pretty much been in this range since the 4th, 5th of February, and we've been kind of trending in this zone, this parallel channel, for the past 10, 11 days. If we zoom out on a larger time frame, looking at the weekly, what I'm looking for here is I'm looking at this trend going all the way back to the peak of the previous cycle. We had that initial peak in April, May of 2021, followed by the Bitcoin peak at the end of November 2021. That trend is mapping all the way through to where we're at today on the weekly chart. Consolidation happening here for Bitcoin since making these moves in the aftermath of the election results in the United States, getting up above that $100,000 mark here initially around the beginning of December, and since then we've been consolidating in this area, but importantly maintaining and closing above this upwards trend marked with the white line on the chart here. So what I'm looking for is a little bit of continued consolidation here over the coming few weeks. Maybe it's going to take a little bit more time before we get a breakout, but my ideal scenario, and again, this is not financial advice, guys, I could be completely wrong, we get a little bit more consolidation in this area before a larger breakout as we move through the rest of this year. So again, looking at the big picture and remembering what's happening from a macro perspective is sometimes helpful and important rather than getting caught up with the day-to-day swings of this market. We know it is extremely volatile. So if we jump back over and look at a couple of other key charts, just like Bitcoin dominance, zooming back into the daily time frame, we will be able to see what's been happening here. We had a big spike up in dominance here. This was with the prices pulling back on the 3rd of February. We had Bitcoin spiking down to 90K, Ethereum spiking down to 2100, Solana spiking down to 175, 176, and Bitcoin dominance as a result of that climbed much, much higher, all the way above 64% here on the 3rd of February, wicking up that high. And over the preceding days, we saw altcoins bleeding out, which meant that Bitcoin dominance climbed even higher, peaked here on the body of these candles around 61.95% on February 7th. And then for the past week, dominance has actually been breaking down, and we've seen many of the alts, even if you look in my right-hand panel here, many of these altcoins, Jupiter, Brett, Arrow, Sui, Solana, they are outperforming Bitcoin when Bitcoin is holding here around this $97,000, $98,000 level. So we're seeing a little bit of a rotation happening basically over the past couple of weeks. When Bitcoin was moving back up in this direction with its dominance, this was alt bleeding out pretty severely here for the month of February until we got that dominance peaking out here around the 7th, and altcoins have slowly started to bounce and outperform Bitcoin, which is leading Bitcoin dominance to break down for the past 7 days. Now, we did look at this on the channel many, many times, guys. A breakdown or a significant breakdown in Bitcoin dominance is what is going to be the real catalyst for a true altcoin season. If we zoom out to the weekly chart here, we can see Bitcoin dominance has been in a super strong uptrend for the past 2 years. We did break below that trend here in November of last year when we had alts rallying in the aftermath of the election results. we completely regained all of that dominance over the past few weeks. And then this past 7 days, as we said, it is breaking down once again. So we need to wait and see what happens. But zooming all the way back to 2021, this was the true altcoin season from the previous cycle. We saw Bitcoin dominance breaking down extremely hard from January 2021 through May of 2021. And this was essentially marked by pretty much every single altcoin significantly outperforming Bitcoin on a percentage basis, which obviously drives Bitcoin dominance to the downside. So we saw that bottoming out here over the course of the end of 2021, moving into 2022. And Bitcoin dominance has been on a very strong uptrend until today. And essentially, we're still seeing it holding pretty strong above 60.57%. I think what we need to see is what I'm indicating with this particular white line on the chart here is Bitcoin dominance truly breaking down in a similar fashion to what happened back here in Q1 and Q2 of 2021. Now, it also begs the question, are we going to see an altcoin season similar to what we even saw back in 2021? And that may not be the case. We may not get as aggressive of a pullback in Bitcoin dominance, therefore leading to possibly a more diluted altcoin season. That's possible. We're seeing a number of different narratives that have outperformed over the past year, including meme coins, real world assets. There are narratives that are having very good strength, and even more recently AI agents, but a full-blown altcoin season has not yet happened in this particular cycle. We would need to see a stronger, more sustained breakdown for Bitcoin dominance. And I do think it happens in some shape or form. It just may not be quite as aggressive and as prolonged as what we saw during this 5 to 6 month period all the way back in 2021. So that's what I'm thinking at the moment. There are a couple of other key charts to keep an eye on when it comes to altcoin season and what's happening in the market in general. We are seeing crypto total market cap standing around 3.21 trillion here today. Again, this is the weekly chart. We got above that $3 trillion level here back in November for the first time. That was a key resistance level because that was the peak of crypto total market cap back from the previous cycle. And we did have to test it if we zoom into the daily chart here for about, 8 to 9 days before we finally broke above it here. You were seeing us getting rejected from that $3 trillion level. We broke above it. But interestingly, since we have broken above it, we have not broken back below it. We've continued to consolidate in this zone. I know it's lots of sideways action here on the chart, guys, but this does bode well as a consolidation pattern for a larger move to the upside when we do eventually make that next leg up. So again, watching this is important to understand where we're at in terms of total crypto market cap and where the market has the potential to move over the coming few months. Again, total 3 is another chart I like to keep a watch on because this is telling us total crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And as we can see, we did have a nice breakout here back in November when we had that run. Remember, Bitcoin dominance was breaking down, but that dominance breaking down is also marked by the altcoin breaking out. The altcoins breaking out and outperforming Bitcoin during this period, basically November 5th through December 8th, a 1 month period where we had a very good run in the markets. And again, we've been consolidating since that time period. We did see alts bleeding out over the past couple of weeks, but as we saw on the Bitcoin dominance chart, Bitcoin dominance breaking down over the past 7 days, total 3 breaking to the upside over the past 7 days, again coming back down close and even wicking down as low as the 200-day simple moving average before bouncing and continuing back up and to the right. So I'll be keeping a close eye on this chart. I really want to see us holding above the 200-day simple moving average to continue that up and to the right movement. And again, if we're thinking about what was happening in the previous cycle, zooming out to the 1 week time frame, we do want to see a bigger move to the upside for total 3 to really signify an altcoin season. Again, going back to 2021, this bigger move to the upside here was the move for altcoin season, again through Q1 and Q2 of 2021. altcoin market cap moving significantly to the upside with everything outperforming Bitcoin. And just very quickly, even looking at that on a percentage basis, you're looking at, 500 to 600% gains in total 3 over that 5 to 6 month period. Again, this was a nice breakout, but on a percentage basis, if we look at it, this was more like a 92% breakout. I do think there's room for us to have bigger moves during the course of this cycle, and we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Others.D is the final chart that we'll take a look at. Others.D showing us the total crypto market cap excluding top 10 dominance. So again, on a percentage basis, this has been going down over the past couple of weeks. We got a little bit of a breakout here back in November. If we zoom into the daily time frame, we've broken back below the 200-day simple moving average for Others.D. So again, the top 10 cryptos, showing us that they are outperforming here on a percentage dominance basis versus those altcoins. And again, I would want to see this making bigger moves to the upside, just like we saw back here in Q1, Q2 of 2021, a sustained move for everything outside the top 10, moving much, much higher on a percentage basis. We would want to see something similar happening over here. It might take a little bit longer. We're going to need to come back up, get above the 200-day simple moving average, and continue moving up and to the right. So that is my update, guys. I do think we will get some form of altcoin season happening during this cycle. Absolutely. But whether it is as prolonged and sustained as altcoin seasons in previous cycles definitely remains unknown. Again, let's wait and see what happens. Lots of exciting stuff happening in the background. We still have the most crypto-friendly administration in the United States here in 2025. So I do think that bodes well for what's going to happen over the course of this year. Macro picture is still looking pretty good. Lots of macro tailwinds yet to come into effect, in my opinion, as we move through February and March in 2025. So let me know, guys, what do you think? Is there an altcoin season coming? Drop me a comment below this video. Let me know what tokens you're holding in your altcoin bag. Again, not a bad time to have a heavy allocation towards Bitcoin as its dominance continues to march upwards. But again, possibly time to begin thinking about capital rotation if that's the game you're playing for an altcoin season that could be on the cards later in 2025. Drop me a comment below. Let me know. As always, if you got any value out of this video, guys, please make sure to smash that thumbs up below. Hit the subscribe button as well. Smash that bell notification icon. And again, don't forget to grab your completely free copy, The Rise of Bitcoin. It's linked down below the video. Go and grab it now. It won't be free forever. Grab it now, and we'll catch you in the next one.